Yo, what's up? We're back and we're going to be doing another prop of the week. I think this is the fourth one, and we have hit all the prop of the week so far that I've done, so hopefully we can keep that going. But for the first prop of the week for that one for this week, it's going to be right here. Zaleski wins inside the distance at plus 105. My reasoning behind that is just because, the leech, he takes a lot of damage, man. He gets dropped a lot in the first round, and he's the type of guy that when he gets hurt, he wants to plant his feet in the center wing, try to get it back. And against these lower level guys that he's been fighting, the David Zawadas, trying to think who else he got dropped. He got dropped against a lot of guys, but Frank Camacho, he's been able to come back, survive, come back, get the win here. But against a guy like Zaleski, the Capoeira, man, I feel like when Capoeira hurts him, he's going to be able to put him away. I just have that feeling. I think that he's going to beat him in the first round, actually. And, the Leech is a tough guy, and he can make it scrappy, but just his style, I think it plays into the hands of Zaleski, and I feel like Zaleski is just overall better. He's won 7 in a row. I think he needs a step up in competition for sure after this fight. And that's why the prop's going to be Zaleski wins inside the distance plus 105. So hopefully you can hit that one and continue the streak on the prop of the week. But we're just going to go over, like always, a few of the matchups and, see if we like anything in terms of this card. With this fight right here, Rose against Procopio, I'm just gonna pass this one through, bro. I don't know. Maybe you could say it goes to 3 round distance minus 250 if you want to throw it into a parlay piece, but not much interest in playing that fight at all, really. And then up next year with Haile Alatang taking on Baccaral Bonarel or Bonari or whatever, but Boncare. But in this fight, I already have a bet on Alatang. It's a small bet. He was an underdog, so I'm not going to put any props on this fight. But, I would say, just looking at it, I think Alatang could get a KO TKO, which is plus 252. I think Dane could get a KO TKO as well. And I feel like this fight probably is going to get finished inside the distance. But, they have it like that as well. They have it minus 155, won't go the 3 round distance. Plus 125 for it to go the distance, so they favor it being finished as well. So yeah, I feel like Alatang will probably win inside the distance in that fight, but I'm not willing to lay any money on it after I already have some money on Alatang already. And then with Ismagulov against Thiago Moises, I actually did go and make a bet on Ismagulov at minus 185, I believe, which I just feel like that line is a little bit off, but I actually do think this is going to be a decision. I don't think that Ismagulov is going to go in there trying to finish him. I think if there is a finish, it could probably be Thiago Moises with the submission, but I think that that's unlikely as well. I think that the likely thing to happen here is Ismagulov wins the 3 round decision here at minus 113. I think that's a pretty good value there. So my pick for that one is going to be Ismagulov via decision on that one for sure. Then Ibrahimov against Daung Jung. It's just part of the parlay of the week here. And, I am pretty confident that Cottis is going to get it done. I was intrigued by his tape. He looked good. And Jung just looked like he was a little bit deficient on the ground. But don't really have anything to say in terms of props for this fight. Sumadarji against Andre Sukumtath. I do think a good prop on both sides is a submission by Sumadarji or submission by Sukumtath. I'm going to try to look at that right here. Because I just feel like that's a possibility for both guys. Sumadarji by submission plus 1310. That's not a bad bet there in my opinion, and plus 525 for Sukumtath isn't bad either. I do think that Sukumtath wins, he's probably going to win inside the distance, or I don't know. I feel like this is a good fight. I favor Andre Sukumtath for sure, but I think Sumadarji could get the finish in that fight. I just have a weird feeling about that he's going to maybe get a submission, but yeah. So that's my reasoning there. And then Hernandez against Park. Not much to say about that. Park does have some nice front choke submissions. Like he got Ray Cooper the third. He was a pretty good fighter. I actually think Ray Cooper would knock out Hernandez. He caught him in a submission, which is plus 900, but he's not like a great, huge submission threat. Yeah, I don't really have props for that fight, really. Kenan Song against Derek Krantz. This is a good fight, man. I feel like Derek Krantz is going to be able to just want it more than Kenan Song and get the win there. Um, I feel like he could win inside the distance or win by decision, but I don't really know. Like, I feel like if he wins, it's going to probably be a knockout, but I could also see him getting a submission as well. I think he's the better grappler. I think that Song could get a knockout also. I mean, that counter right hand is really nice. Krantz has been knocked out before, so that would be the possibility. I feel like if Song winning is if he lands a big counter and knocks him out. But I think Derek Krantz is going to get it done there. I do have a play on Derek Krantz, and not going to put any props on that one, but I do feel like, Derek Krantz has enough to get it done there. With Yanan Wu against Mizuki in a way, I feel like Mizuki's going to win a decision here. We already have her as the most confident pick. I have a bet on her, so not going to be adding more to that. But, Wu did come in 3 pounds overweight. She already has a sizable advantage in size, so that kind of sucks, man. I mean, a little bit of bullshit, if you ask me, on Wu's part. I don't know if it was intentional, if it was not intentional, but Wu's going to go in there with a little bit of extra weight. I feel like she's going to probably try to grapple, put in a way on her back where she feels like maybe she can control her there. And she's obviously going to have more pop in her punches, most likely. But I just feel like Inoue is better everywhere. I feel like she's going to be able to just beat her, out technique her, and get the win there. So I'm still confident that Mizuki's going to get it done, but was kind of disappointed that Yunanu didn't make weight in that one. And then we're moving on. Kai Kara France gets Mark De La Rosa, and a lot of people have some opinions on this fight. Like a lot of people are giving me shit for picking Mark De La Rosa, but man, I mean, we'll see. We'll see what happens. I feel like the pressers get a break, Kai Kara France, and we'll see what happens. Rosa winning by decision plus 341. I kind of like those odds on that one. Not bad at all. Um, I don't really see Rosa getting a TKO. I could see Kai Kara potentially getting a TKO. He actually does hit hard for flyweight. So plus 485, I mean, if you wanted to put a bet on that, I wouldn't really be saying that was a bad bet either. But, by submission, I would be very surprised. If Rosa got a submission, that'd be surprising as well. Obviously, plus 693, but not impossible on that one. But, yeah, I mean, I think Mark De La Rosa is going to get the decision in that fight. Then up next was Zaleski. We're just going to pass that one. We already did that one. And then Weili Zhang gets Jessica Andrade. I see a lot of people have faith that Jessica's going to go in there and take Weili out, man. So if you think that she's going to go in there and knock her out, you can get some plus money on that, plus 145. Um, it's actually favored that they will go the distance at minus 130, but very slight. For Zhang winning inside the distance, it's plus 450, so they think it's going to be much harder for Zhang to get a knockout, a finish on Andrade than Andrade gets on her. But to win a decision, it's much closer, plus 302, plus 282. So they think if it goes 5 rounds, it's probably going to be a close fight. Um, yeah, I mean, I guess if you think that Andrade's going to wear down, beat her in the later rounds, you could take a look at that, where it's plus 1525, plus 1025, plus 725, even plus 625 for the second round isn't bad. Um, you know, uh, TKO plus 210. But yeah, I mean, I'm not going to have any action on the main event in terms of props. And yeah, so that's going to be the prop of the week this week. Zaleski inside the distance plus 105. And all these odds are given to you by Five Dimes. This is Five Dimes website, their layouts. So yeah, I mean, if you ever go on their book, this is kind of what you'll see. You'll see like the bet the board and all this stuff right here. But yeah, thanks for watching, guys. Thanks for subscribing, watching the UFC Shenzen video, the Dana Contender Series videos, and yeah, hopefully we can hit the prop of the week and the parlay for tonight. Don't forget, guys, the fight's at 12 a.m. 12 a.m. on Saturday morning. West Coast time, 3 a.m. East Coast time. If you're in the United States, if you're not in the United States, you got to figure that shit out on your own. I'm not gonna go fucking try to figure that out. But yeah, man, you guys probably getting some good timing here for this week and next week. I was looking at next week's card also. I'm wondering how that's gonna affect the pay per view a little bit because it's on at like 7:45 a.m. I think the main card starts at like 12 or something, but still, I mean that's a big card. Khabib versus Dustin Poirier. You know, they had to give him a lot of that Middle East money, man, to make him go over there and change the start time on a big time pay per view on a superstar like Khabib. So UFC's cashing out on that obviously already, and yeah. So thanks for watching, guys. I'll see you guys next week, and hopefully we can do well on these bets.